Yep, we're rocking and rolling. Well, welcome to week two, everybody. I want to give you an overview of material that you're going to be encountering in Volte's reading for this week. We're coming on, of course, a quarter completion of our course, believe it or not. It's gone quickly. This week, later, you will have the opportunity to take test one. So the material I'll be discussing here in a few moments will conclude the topics along with the ones that were discussed in the last video clip that will be tested on the very first of our what I call regular tests for the course. So again, as I mentioned last time around, you'll have that file of questions that you can take a look at to get an idea of what questioning will look like for the upcoming test, and review, if you want, the last video clip where I give you some ideas about how to use that file hopefully most productively for you in terms of helping you to get the best score possible on your examination. Now onward to the new material. In this block of reading, Volte is going to do a lot of discussion about how knowledge informs technology, how knowledge gets built, how it's related to science, and how technology diffuses within society and across society. Now, with regard specifically to knowledge in science and technology, we usually think in terms of technology as being a kind of an application of knowledge that has been generated through scientific research. Volte is going to give you a couple of contrasting views on this notion and show you that perhaps the evidentiary record is not quite as clear in this point as we might at first think. There will be two research studies discussed, one called Project Hindsight, and the other one which bears the name acronym TRACES, TRACES, which stands for Technology in Retrospect and Critical Events in Science. These are going to take a look at the extent to which science and technology really are related in terms of science being a driver of technological development. I think you'll find some of the findings perhaps kind of surprising. Now, following those, there's going to be a discussion of the way in which the work of scientists differs from the work of engineers, who are the primary occupational grouping we think of when we think of technology in our society. As you encounter that reading, try to keep in mind the norms and values that surround science and what science is about, and the idea of generating knowledge for the public domain, as opposed to technology, which in a capitalistic economy has a definitely proprietary aspect about it. So keep in mind the characteristics of capitalism, some of which will be the idea of, very importantly, the idea of generating profit and controlling the profit, and the idea of a capitalistic market which implies competition, free entry of competitors, and perfect knowledge in consumers with regard to the products and services that are made available through a capitalistic economy. This, of course, will broach the broader question of to what extent is technology a driver of scientific endeavor, and to what extent is science a driver of technological endeavor. You will see that there are points of view in both regards, and that perhaps the matter isn't quite as clear as we would think in general terms. However, there are also some aspects that are common to both science and technology, and you'll want to have a sense of what those are as well. And then I should note that there is a discussion following those kinds of things which speaks to the matter of diffusion as a factor in social change. Again, those of you who have taken the first course in sociology know that diffusion is one of the major factors that leads to social change. Other ones, of course, are invention and discovery and innovation. So you'll want to be thinking about diffusion, and you'll want to also be looking at what Volte has to say in terms of copying as a process and adaptation, broadly speaking, within this broader context of diffusion. That will, I think, take on greater meaning when we consider the extent to which a given technology is appropriate when transferred from one society to another. You will want to take note of what are the kinds of things that facilitate the adoption of a technology once it has diffused, and what are the kinds of things that impede the adoption of that technology. Lying behind this will be a clear social factor having to do with the importance of people, actual individuals and groups of people within a society who will have to do what it is that they do to, if you will, custom fit a technology to the requirements of the society in which it is being fitted. The chapter or the readings will start to conclude with something called the NIH syndrome. NIH being letters standing for Not Invented Here. And Not Invented Here will again have meaning in terms of the larger value system of our society, especially as that value system is couched within the capitalistic enterprise. And then perhaps the last and biggest and broadest topic that is presented in this block of reading is a discussion of the patent system, which has clear advantages for the furthering of technology, but also has some interesting disadvantages. So you'll want to be thinking from the point of view of, well, to what extent is the patent system really a good one from the point of view of developing and implementing technologies within society for the betterment of the people in that society, and to what extent is it a hindrance? Those are going to be the major things I think that you'll be encountering in Volte this time around. As I say, once you have concluded this block of reading, I would suggest you go right on to those sample questions, take a look at them, answer them, decide what it is that led you to conclude one answer versus another answer. Take a look in the book where I have shown you where you can find the answers if you have any questions what the answer really is or why it is supported as it is. And then also consider what I've had to say in terms of why it is that those particular questions are what I'm calling good questions over the topic areas that have been presented thus far, because those will give you some indications of the kinds of thoughts you might be keeping in your mind more generally as you encounter readings yet to come. Anyway, that's about it for right now. I'll get back to you with another video after I've had a chance to take a look at what your discussion forum postings have been for this week, so I can give you some generalized feedback about them and some comments about any other administrative matters that might be popping up for us towards the end of this week. So once again, until next time, until I come up with that other video for you, take care, good luck with your readings, your studies, and best wishes for you on this first test. Bye-bye.